Welcome to FedScoop TV and our special series on digital transformation heroes. I'm Wyatt Cash, your host, and today we're with Mika Cross. Mika is with the Veterans Employment and Training Service at the Department of Labor. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Terrific. I'd like to first talk to you a little bit about the topic of innovation, and there's a lot of ways that people throw innovation around. Yes. Tell me your definition or the way you look at innovation and how it kind of applies to the public sector.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I have a personal take on innovation, and I've seen the inside of about 6 different federal agencies at all levels of government. And really it comes down to one thing, I think, and that's culture. You know, how do organizations empower their employees to come up with ideas and give permission for them to make mistakes, maybe not the same mistakes again and again, but permission to make mistakes if that happens in order for them to take risks. I really do believe that that drives an innovative culture and one where employees can bring their best ideas and feel as though they can innovate from the inside out, which at the end of the day is really what we're trying to do across the federal government right now.
Well, terrific. Well, next I'd like to ask you a little bit about cloud services, containerization, and agile development. All of these things are sort of enabling innovation, but I'd like to get your sense of how that's changed your outlook about what's possible over the next 18 months to modernize government IT systems and then enable innovation.
Yeah, those are great examples of innovative technologies, and I've always been extremely optimistic about what we can do overall as a federal government. I mean, agency by agency, they're large organizations, but I really have to give credit to the federal CIO community who have been working tirelessly to try to innovate also the procurement process and finance process, and then from a social and cultural perspective, being able to really enable those technologies to be used effectively in the workplaces overall, rather. So I remain optimistic. You know, Moore's Law points to that, and really there is no reason why we can't continue in a safe, in a secure environment to provide the best and most optimal services to the American public that these kinds of technology and tools really enable us to do.
Well, terrific. Well, digital transformation also depends on redirecting workforce skills, I think you'd agree. And
Absolutely.
So in your perspective, particularly being in the Department of Labor and in training, I'm interested, what needs to happen to ensure that agencies really have the right skills and that they have the right talent within their IT organizations and really more broadly across agencies?
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting in the federal space, especially where I sit now at the Veterans Employment and Training Service. You know, our mission is focused on getting transitioning service members and veterans connected with the right kinds of jobs. But it also includes training and skill building so that they can sort of fill in the gap for organizations, both within the federal government but also in the private industry, for future forecasting occupations and industries that are needed, especially in IT and STEM kinds of jobs. When thinking about the workforce culture overall, it's really important to keep in mind that we have multiple generations working together. And until these kinds of innovative technologies are put into the hands of the users in a way that they feel more comfortable using it, leveraging it, and optimizing them, I really think that we just have more work to do with regards to how people work together and taking into consideration different ways of learning and thinking and being able to be efficient with the mission and the services that they provide.
That's a great point. Well, lastly, how's your agency and those you work with planning ahead for the continuing surge in data, because that's an important part of how agencies are making their decisions? And how are you seeing the use of data analytic tools getting into the hands of those who need it?
That's a wonderful question. And at the Veterans Employment and Training Service, we are really fortunate to work with some key federal partners across government, such as the VA, the Department of Defense, and many other federal partners. We're also working, though, in tandem with the state workforce agencies and our nonprofit veteran servicing organizations. And really, data is how we become informed about our mission meeting the mark? Is what we're doing creating efficiencies and creating an impact? And how can we make different kinds of decisions based on the data? So we're really fortunate that I think collectively and collaboratively across the federal space, we're looking at sharing different data analytics and different tools so that we can do forecasting and it really give us a better understanding from a user perspective on what's working well and what we could be doing better.
Well, Mika, thank you so much for sharing some of your insights. Wish you continued good luck as you help in the process of digital transformation in the public sector. So.
Thank you again for having me.
Look for more of our coverage at FedScoop.com. I'm Wyatt Cash, your host. Thanks for watching.